This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. And I'm always very excited to tell you that this show is brought to you by The Butcher Shop. The Butcher Shop are purveyors of highly sought-after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wailara 9+ briskets that are always handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years. Every week, they're shipping out competition quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use the Butcher Shop win in there, and they win often. Even if you're not a competitor, you deserve the finer cuts. The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the backyard. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock, and again, always hand-picked for you. Let's review the best competition briskets. They got it. The best pork selection. They got that. Giving you better overall options to cook at home. They got it. So give the Butcher Shop a call today. 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. Mention the BBQ Central Show, and you're getting 10% off your entire order. They're going to give you that 10% each and every time you call. You can also check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Shop is spelled S-H-O-P-P-E. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wailara briskets. And here's just a little blip in the history of the BBQ Central Show. A call-in unprompted from...
Let's go ahead and take a call here for the next couple minutes. Area code 901, name and where you're calling from.
Melissa from Nesbitt, Mississippi.
Hey, Melissa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just happens to be the Memphis Barbecue Network side champion there at the DC Barbecue Battle. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
And thank you for spending some time with my embedded reporter down there.
Oh, she's absolutely wonderful. It's my pleasure.
All right. So, did you happen to listen to the Kevin Roberts interview?
I did.
All right, so what's your take on that, Melissa? I mean, you've been around the barbecue game quite a long time, and you know what people are like, especially on the television side. Do you think that he kind of came clean right off the bat?
He did, and this is the age-old battle. What he was doing on the Today Show is grilling. What we do in competition is barbecuing, and you just can't confuse the two. And, you know, if you're grilling, say you're grilling, and get on with your grilling. But don't confuse that with actual barbecuing. And grilling is great. You know, everybody loves to grill. You know, you got a big old fat steak or a pork chop, throw it on there and grill it.
Do you think is it a standard practice where people boil stuff or parboil chicken or ribs, or is that something just to speed up the process? That's
grilling. You would never, ever parboil anything, especially for competition. Restaurants do it simply because of, they just don't have the capacity to create real barbecue. People do it for ease, because not everybody has 5 or 6 hours to spend babysitting ribs. And that's fine. But it's just not to be confused with barbecuing.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's two ways to do it. And one of the focuses of this show, at least up front, was to try and discern the fact that these terms are not interchangeable, barbecue and grilling. You don't barbecue on a grill, you don't grill on a barbecue. These are two different methods of cooking, and both should be embraced, but you shouldn't be using these terms willy-nilly.
Right, exactly.
Now let's turn back real quick to your win this past weekend. I mean, you've been riding a streak of you win the world champion last month in Memphis in May. You turn around and go to the nation's capital and win that side. Were you a triple entry on the Memphis Barbecue Network side?
Yes, sir.
Now, are a lot of the teams that are doing the MBN, are they triple entries, or are they just kind of banking on one meat?
Well, in the DC barbecue battle, I never got a breakdown of how many hogs and shoulders and ribs there were, and we didn't get score sheets yet. So I don't know the Kansas City teams. I know a lot of them entered the Memphis in May sanctioned event. but I don't know how many of them actually, what categories they enter. So I don't know the breakdown on that. But, there's a lot more crossover there than there is at most contests.
Do you think that there'll be more crossover competitions where you're doing both?
Oh, I absolutely do. And for small teams, it's a nightmare. Because the turn-ins, at dual contests, the turn-ins are every 30 minutes. So you're turning in a Memphis product and a Kansas City product and a Memphis product and a Kansas City product. And, for small teams, it's almost impossible for us. At Washington, they had the Kansas City sanctioned event on Saturday and the Memphis and May sanctioned event on Sunday. So that made it a lot easier.
Now, you've been working a plan of consistency, which obviously has led to a lot of the success that you have. And it hasn't obviously been just this year. I mean, it's been over a number of these past years. You've had Team of the Year honors. You've had category honors for Team of the Year at Memphis BBQ Network. And it seems like whenever Jack's Old South enters into a competition, especially one like this that has a lot of cachet and a lot of exposure, he's almost like the default person that everybody goes to win. I didn't necessarily think that would be the case. I absolutely thought that you guys had a better chance than Myron's team to go in and do that. Do you think that Yazoo's is getting the respect it deserves, and do you think that winning Memphis in May and now winning DC Barbecue Battle is going to bolster that?
Well, I hope so. But we're not really walking and talking the respect battle. We do what we do. We enjoy what we do, and we have been on a roll. We've won the last 4 contests we competed in, and we're just going to ride that pony as long as it'll ride.
Why not? Right?
That's right.
All right, Melissa, is there anything else you'd like to add before I break out of here and we bring in Harry Carey?
No, if I thought I'd save you since you're the caller, didn't call in.
Oh, well, you are delightful. And believe me, it's unbelievable that you would actually just go ahead and call out, especially given the fact that the long weekend and the heat probably had to be one of the most difficult week. Well, I mean, you're down there in Mississippi, so you know what the heat's all about. But I mean, it was pretty brutal out there, right?
Yeah, and I'm getting older, and it's not getting any easier.
It never is. But this is the Memphis Barbecue Network side over there at the DC Barbecue Battle. Grand champion Melissa Cookston just happened to drop in to pick me up because Derek Rich has shined on me. But we'll never forget that. But thanks a lot, Melissa. I appreciate you calling in.
Thanks, Greg.
There she is. Check her out. Check her out picking up the Barbecue Central show. Grand champions calling in right and left. Okay, not right and left at all, just her. Where was Q-Ow? Wait a second. Where was Q-Ow?
Get that big stuff
Right.
out of here.
Right. That was awesome. Unsolicited call-in from the grand champions of the Memphis Barbecue Network side of things at the DC Barbecue Battle, Melissa Cookston.
That's right. Melissa Cookston stepped up to fill a gap. Team player, smoking in the boys' room fame. Would you like to hear the rest of this show? I know you would. Head over to the bbqcentralshow.com. There is a link in today's show notes that's going to take you to this complete episode. I invite you to go check that out. Scroll around over in the archives. Find something interesting. Get your own personally name-branded Best Moments show by dropping me an email. John at thebbqcentralshow.com. Drop me a show date, and I'll go get that bad boy and cut you up a show. Whatever I can do for you. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time on the Best Moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.